This is going to be our third linear multiple reps recording, and this is going to be given a table. The other ones we were given a description and equation. Now we're going to be given a table. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to label my table X and Y. So I can remember X is my US dollars and Y is my euros. And if you look up at the top, it says this is a currency conversion. So it's showing you how it's being converted. Now, if I look at my very first row on my table here, I notice that my X starts with 0. So whatever my Y number is, that's my starting value. So I'm just going to write that my starting value is equal to a 0. Now I need to figure out my M number, which is my slope. And if we've forgotten, I'm just going to remind myself that the starting value is the B value. So I'm going to put that there. Okay, so if I want to figure out my slope, I've got to figure out how the y is changing. So from 0 to 6, it's going up 6. From 6 to 12, it's going up 6. 12 to 8, up 6. And it looks like it's going to keep that pattern. So I'm going to not keep writing it because it just keeps going up by 6. If I look at my x side, how's my x changing? It's going 0 to 5, it's up 5. 5 to 10, it's also at 5. 10 to 15, once again, that's at 5. So they're all going to be going up by 5s. So when I write slope, it's always how did the y change, whatever that number is, on top of how did the x change, whatever that number is. So here's my changing of the y side. My y is changed by a positive 6. I'm going to put a 6. And then I look at my x side. The change of the x, it went up by 5, so I'm going to put that number on the bottom. So my slope, or my rate, is a 6 over 5. So I can go ahead and I can write my equation. Remember how we write it, y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to go y equals, now the m is my slope, or my rate, and that was the 6 over the 5. I could do x plus b was the starting value, and my starting value was 0, and that's fine. Now we don't actually have to write the plus 0 if we don't want to. We can just write it without it. That's fine. And if we wanted to use different letters, we could. Notice that the y is the euros, so instead of y equals, I could say E equals for euros, and I would still have my 6 over 5. And my X is my US dollars, so I could put like a D for dollars. So you could do that as well and just use different letters, and it's still the same equation. And if I wanted to write a sentence about it, I could say the exchange rate for euros, for dollars to euros, is at a rate of 6 euros for $5, because the 6 is the euros and the 5 is the dollars. But I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as the starting value and the rate, because that's fine too. And I'm going to go ahead and do my graph. Here's my x-axis, and my x is my US dollars. Here's my y-axis. My y is the euros. And if I look at how I'm going to write my numbers, my x-axis is going up by 5, which is kind of a nice way to do it. So I'm just going to continue that. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and it would keep going from there. Okay, now my y side is going up by 6s, which I could do that, 0, 6, 12, or I could go up by 3s. That's a little bit easier to do, so I'm going to do 3s. 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, like that, and then do 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. But if you wanted to go up by 6s, you could. That would work. Or you could go up by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Like that would also work as well. So I'm going to put in my numbers. 0, 0 is my first one, so that's at the origin at the corner. And then $5 was 6 euros. $10 is 12 euros. $15 is 18 euros. $20 is 24 euros. and $25 is 30 euros. And you can see that also goes up in a nice line because it should be linear because it has a slope, and that's going to force it into the line shape. So this was our third scenario, or our third example, and then this one we were given a table.